So let's continue on with our radical journey. Get it? Ah, I love it. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, there's two types of radicals. Sorry about that one. There's two types of radicals. One's called a mixed radical. The other one's called an entire radical. Let me tell you a little bit about them. A mixed radical is just that. It has a number in front of the radical. That's simple. Okay, something like, oh, let's say 2 root 5. That would be considered a mixed. See, it's got a number here. There's the radical with the radicand inside. Two different types of numbers. That's called mixed. Okay, an entire radical would be something that looks like this, root 20. Notice, by definition, it has a coefficient of 1. But if you put a 1 up front, that kind of looks awkward, doesn't it? Do you really need a 1 up front? No, because 1 times root 20 is just root 20. But I want to show you something that's really, really cool. You ready for this? I want to put this in my calculator. So grab your calculator right now. Let's put both 2 root 5 and root 20 into your calculator. Okay, so here we go. Watch this. 2 square root 5, and just punch it. Boom. Now check this out. Second square root of 20. Watch this. This is going to just boggle your mind. Ready? Boom. They're the same number. These guys are the exact same number. They just look a little bit different. Why? Because one's a mixed, one's an entire. Oh, well, that just opens up an interesting can of worms now, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But before I go into that, I want to show you what we can do with some properties of radicals. Then I'm going to show you how to convert from one to the other, from this to this, and back and forth. That's the whole idea of the next podcast. So this is just a setup. Let's go over here. Check this out. So we have to look at some really, really radical law here. Okay. The radical law says if you've got an A and B in here, you can write them as separate radicals. Break them apart, still multiply them, and it's still the same thing. Same goes with, guess what? If you got square roots, you can put them all together into one radical, A divided by B, and you'll see what I mean. I'll show you. Look, do you remember this guy? Do you remember this guy? We had square root of 20 in the last question, right? It could actually be written as square root of 5 and what? Yeah, the square root of 4. Now you want to see something? I'm going to give you a little treat here. Do you know what a square root 4? What's the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2. Do you remember this mixed radical from the question before? Yes, it's there. Check it out. Look, there's 2 root 5. There's the root 20. That's where it came from. Oh my gotcha. That's amazing, Mr. Prima. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, so let's keep on going. Watch this. This is real cool. So now you can take this guy and have all kinds of fun with it. Look, square root of 40. Square root of 40, square root of 8 times what? Well, 8 times 5. Cool. Eventually, we're going to break that guy down a little bit more. Even if you're dividing, check this out. Square root of 10, square root of 2 can be written as the square root of 10 over 2, which is actually the square root of 5. Oh my goodness, you're kidding. No, I'm not. Look, square root of 60 over square root of what gives you square root of 5? Yeah, square root of 12. Oh my goodness, look how you can have fun with radicals. That's the cool part right there. And that's what we're going to expand upon in the next podcast.